Good day, everyone. We are Group 7, and our assigned topic is Family Systems Therapy. But before we dig deeper into what the therapy is all about, let us know first the major contributors to the family systems theory. First is we have Alfred Adler. He was the first psychologist to use a systemic approach in family therapy. He emphasized the purposeful behavior, family interactions, education of parents and community, and he also introduced family therapy in open forum. Next is Murray Bowen. He was the major developer of mainstream family therapy, and he also worked with schizophrenic individuals at the National Institute of Mental Health. He believed families should be understood over 3 generations. His key ideas were differentiation of self, emotional reactivity patterns, and triangulation, which is pulling a third person into conflict. He also emphasized multi-generational patterns and genograms. Virginia Satir, on the other hand, developed conjoined family therapy. She believed the relationship between therapist and family was central. She used sculpting and family reconstructions, and she focused on congruent communication, emotional honesty, personal growth, and self-esteem. She also saw therapy as helping family members connect with their best self. Another contributor is Carl Whittaker. He is the creator of symbolic experiential family therapy, and he uses the approaches playful, creative, and intuitive. He stated that the therapist becomes an active participant, not a distant observer. His goals were to increase individual autonomy, build sense of belonging, encourage authentic emotional encounters. He also taught families to face anxiety and become more open and transparent. We also have Salvador Minuchin, the founder of structural family therapy. He began through work with delinquent boys in the 1960s and later worked at the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. His focus were on family structure, organization of subsystems, and boundaries. He believed problems improved by modifying family interactions and taught therapists to reshape boundaries and correct dysfunctional structures. Lastly, we have Jay Haley and Chloe Madanes. They founded the Washington School of Strategic Family Therapy, and Haley previously worked with Minuchin. Their strategic therapy focuses on problem solving, family directives, and paradoxical interventions. They emphasize on hierarchy, power, influence, and their therapy ends once the presenting problem is solved. So much for that. Let us now delve into the therapy itself. We begin by framing our discussion within the family system's perspective. Western culture often emphasizes individuals' autonomy, but in reality, we are all connected with our families throughout our lives. This perspective argues that an individual is best understood not in isolation, but through the relationships. A client's behaviors aren't just random. They often serve function for the family, reflect the family's difficulty in adjusting to changes, or result from patterns passed down across generations. This relational focus leads us to a crucial point about the family unit itself. This perspective fundamentally challenges traditional, purely individual psychology. Instead, we highlight how relationships are what truly shape behavior and problems. The core belief here is that the family is an interconnected unit. Therefore, a person's behavior cannot be fully understood without observing their interactions with other family members and the wider context influencing them. This means the entire relational network, not just the identified patient, is considered in treatment. Furthermore, we see that this shift in focus changes how we define therapy. Building on the interconnectedness idea, some theorists prefer the term relationship therapy over family therapy. Why? Because the emphasis is not just on the group, but on the interpersonal patterns within it. The group is truly viewed as more than the sum of its members. Every action of the one person affects the others, creating a constant reciprocal influence. Therefore, systemic thinking does not ignore individuals' issues, but it expands the context to include all relational patterns. Now let's ground these theories by looking at a real-world scenario, the case of Anne, to highlight the key differences between the two therapeutic approaches. Meet Anne, a 22-year-old client who is suffering from depression, which has impacted her ability to maintain friendships and work productively for over 2 years. She desperately wants to feel better, but is currently feeling quite pessimistic about her chances. This is the common starting point for both therapeutic models. So before we examine the distinct methods, it's important to note some shared groundwork. It's important to recognize that both individual and systemic therapists will gather essential background information. In Anne's case, they both know she lives at home with her older parents and she's lost many friends who have moved away. Crucially, both approaches recognize that Anne's depression impacts others in her family as well. The difference lies in where they focus their efforts and intervention. So, what specific actions would each therapist take? Let's break down the contrasting approaches of the individual and systemic therapist. On the left, the individual therapist approach focuses intensely on Anne herself, diagnosing her using the standard manuals like the DSM, exploring the internal causes such as cognitive, emotional, and behavioral processes, and intervening immediately to help her cope. The goal is internal change, while in contrast, the systemic therapist approach explores Anne's family system using tools like a genogram. They would likely involve Anne's family members in sessions, and their focus is on the family relationships that make her depression make sense, looking at transgenerational patterns, culture, and context. The intervention aims to change Anne's context, not just her internal state. Ultimately, the differences stem from deeply rooted philosophical beliefs. Finally, we arrived at the philosophical heart of the difference. Systemic therapists believe that family and social influences often have greater power over a person's life than individual issues alone. While both recognize the biological component of depression, the systemic view emphasizes how Anne's depression affects and is reinforced by her family dynamics through unspoken roles, cultural pressure, or established roles. Therefore, instead of treating Anne as an isolated patient, systemic therapy views her symptoms as embedded in a larger relational and social system that must be addressed for lasting change. This contrast illustrates two distinct and powerful ways to approach mental health, one focusing inward on the person and the other focusing outward on the relationships that define them.
So now let's proceed to the Adlerian family therapy. But before we start, let's first introduce the one who founded this principles and theory. So Alfred Adler believed that the development of children within family constellation was heavily influenced by birth order, which is an iya term is that family constellation, and later on nagkamay tiyahin K-concept, which is an earlier collections. So he noted that all behavior was purposeful, meaning ang mga bata kuno they often acted in patterns that is motivated by a desire to belong. So ano nga ba ang main focus, or ano nga ba ang Adlerian family therapy? So, ini nga kind of family therapy, it views the family as a social system where everyone is interconnected. Meaning, kung ano ang actions or ang behavior hading nga usa, nakaka-apektuhan nga talaga ng membrohan pamilya. Its core belief is that everyone in the family is trying to find their place and feel like they matter. So, ang pinaka central idea niya is that every member of the family, ang pinaka main goal is to belong inside the family. So when someone acts out of or misbehaves, they're usually just discouraged and looking for significance in the wrong ways. So the goal of this therapy is that it aims to help family members to understand their own private logic, meaning an unique characteristic and unique way of thinking and usa nga individual in the family. It also includes an personal beliefs, kung paano nila gin-view and their surroundings and life itself. So this also includes identifying how each person has learned to interpret their role within the family. So an approach in therapy, kind of therapy, the Adlerian family therapy, is that first, building mutual respect among family members is very, very essential. It also helps each person to feel like they are valued inside the family. And it can only be attained through positive contribution rather than focusing on the negative attention. So, ang pinaka-role din ng therapist is that they will function as an educator and investigator. Educator, in a way na they both integrate insights na kakalak na tuhan din siya mga kliyente nila. And investigator, because it involves uncovering family dynamics, it involves continually analyzing ang mga din siya kliyente. It also It also involves examining how birth order influences behavior and identifying the mistaken goals behind problematic actions. So, rather than controlling or parang mamandate nila ang kliyente kung anong dapat himuon, the therapist teaches concepts and provides encouragement. A key function is that reframing behaviors. It means that ang mga misleading beliefs or ang mga behavior nga diri nakakaupay din family is i-reframe nila into a new healthier one. So here is the process of change. In adherent family therapy, there are 4 main stages which change occurs. The first one is assessment. In nga assessment, it begins by understanding the family constellation and each member's lifestyle pattern. In family constellation, it doesn't only mean nga gina-obserbaran nila, gina-assess nila ang birth order, kundi gina-analyze what nila ang rule nga gagampanan ng isang individual within the family. It includes the rule, the gender rule, ang expectation sa ira, yan ang ira mga certain identity nga ginpuput over them. The second one is insight. In insight, it follows the therapist helps the family recognize their patterns and mistaken beliefs. Bagan gini-help ng therapist nga maging aware ang usa nga ira kliyente kung ano ang ira behavior tapos kung paano ira nag-a-act within the family nga kung paano ito nakaka-apekto ng mga miyembro ng pamilya. The third one is reorientation, which guides family members toward healthier ways of belonging and bettering. Dinhi, bagang gina-reorient ang patterns of behavior ng usang tawon and nakalakip na goals and desires within that behavior. Parang dinhi, bagang gina-redirect or gina-reshape into healthier ones. The last one is encouragement. Encouragement focuses on effort and improvement rather than demanding perfect outcomes. So, ang therapist din ang iya role diri para i-force an individual and kliyente nga i-integrate at mga insight nga na assessment ha ira kinabuhi kundi bagan magiging parang i-encourage na nila ang ira kliyente na hira mismo mag-act para magbago ang ira kinabuhi, ang ira patterns of behavior, ang ira ways of behavior. So, ang main key techniques na ginagamit ng adherent family therapy is first ang birth order analysis or ang gitatawag nga family constellation. Niya birth order analysis, gina-examine niya ang family position kung paano niya nakaka-influence itong personality ng behavioral pattern ng usang individual within the family. Also, ang lifestyle assessment. In lifestyle assessment, it's all about culture and belief, ang pattern of thinking, tapos ang mga unconscious desires ng goals ng usang individual nga nagdadrive ka ira para mag-behave o mag-act in a certain way. And the last one is the encouragement. Encouragement is different from simple praise by means that it focus more on the process and effort rather than just the results. Kumbaga, bagan diri ra outcome based, bagan mas nag-focus sila kang process kung tahan magiging outcome. So, unnatural and logical consequences, gina-replace niya ang traditional punishment, allowing learning without shame. So, it's very important, hindi nga adherent family therapy, nga diri bagan ipapapil ng therapist na you should be ashamed of a certain behavior. Kundi bagan nag-encourage na nga, pwede ito nila mabawi. So, another kind of family therapy is the multi-generational family therapy, which is developed by Marie Bowen. So, in her therapy, it examines how patterns, behaviors, and emotional processes are transmitted across generation. Meaning, parang gano'n na na-focus ako sa na cluster of family. Parang apiliwat ang generation pahan usang family. So, bagan, nagpo-focus na tiya, hanga tuhan roots talaga ano sa family, dili na kaya usang ng group of family. So, ang goal hindi ng multi-generational family therapy is to increase the differentiation of self. Meaning, the ability of a person to maintain one's own identity and emotional functioning while staying connected to family. Kasi in the multi-generational family, it is the family and the generation of process. Bagan maedara kin sa nga inherited DNA. Meaning, bagan ang past trauma kan generation ng usang family is nadadara up until ang present family across the generation. So, an aim in therapy is to reduce the anxiety within the family system and break dysfunctional patterns that have persisted across generations. It also helps to understand how past generations handled stress, conflict, and relationships that will help families to make conscious choices rather than repeating automatic patterns. So, andili, ang point na nagahiling nga therapy is para magkamay ada awareness ang usa nga individual within kaniya family nga generation pa ito para diri magkamay ada yung repeated cycle na nangyari na past generations na diri maupay itera madaha present. So ang pinaka main role din ng therapist is to be a coach and a neutral observer rather than to actively participate in the family emotions. It also parang ang pinaka tinenor din ng therapist is to maintain calm and objective stance because it helps reduce the family's anxiety. So on family and therapist, it teaches family members about systems, concepts, and helps them examine their own familial history through genograms, which i-explain ko rin kung ano. Rather than taking sides, the therapist remain emotionally neutral while guiding family members to see their patterns more clearly. The role involves asking questions that promote insight rather than giving direct advice or solutions. So here is the example of a genogram. A genogram is a detailed family tree that goes beyond a simple family tree. Bagan ini nag-include daan iba pa nga generation ng usa nga family. Like ang generation hadi nga tatay, tapos iba lang ang generation hadi nga nanay. Tapos ini-include ito nila didaan mga important life events ng mga hereditary actions, hereditary patterns, pati ang hierarchy han magpapamilya para makita nila kung ano ang pattern or ang role nga ginagampanan ng certain individual within this branch of family. So na-use nila tirahin symbols to visually represent family structure, medical history, and emotional dynamics. It is very important, diba? Na parang ang therapist emphasize niya din yan, emotional dynamics ng isang family. Kasi parang dito, na-help ang therapist and kliyente na ma-understand ang ira own emotional patterns ng way of responding sa ira surrounding outside of themselves. So, ang pinaka-role din ng therapist is parang i-guide lato ng mga family. So the process of change in generational family therapy is first it begins with the assessment using a genogram, which is an akong din-explain kanina. The therapist, it helps the family members to recognize repeating patterns such as an divorce, an addiction, an conflict styles, kung anong ira way of handling stress, problems, and even ang mga ira beliefs ng culture, tradition. So ang therapist, gina-help niya mag-raise awareness but to ito na mga patterns that allows individuals to understand how they might be unconsciously repeating them. So, ang focus then shifts to increasing differentiation. It means that ibubuligan nila ang individual to have their own individuality, to have their own identity outside ng family, to have their own, actually, may nila sarili nila nga paniniwala. But more on like to stand with it without being influenced or without being mandated or imposed by the values or by the beliefs in their family and the family before that and generation before that. So on change, it happens gradually as family members become more aware and make different choices than previous generations did para maiwasan na ang mga repeated cycle. So may mga key concepts and generational family therapy which is very important na maintindihan natin para makomprehend natin kung ano talaga ang main focus ng family therapy. First one is the differentiation of self, which is na-mention ko kanina. It refers to the ability of an individual to be themselves while staying emotionally connected to their family. At ng mga individuals na may mga low differentiation, it means that they are being either too fused with the family or completely cut off. Another term liwat na develop ni Maury Bowen is the triangulation technique. It means that it occur kung may duha nga tao na under stress tas may aday ragin karag i-involve or may aday ragin i-involve na third person para ma-reduce ang tension. Ito nga is either conflict or argument. For example, when parents are in conflict, they might focus on the child's behavior instead of addressing their own issue. Bagan, ini nga example, bagan nagpo-focus sila, itulahan malihang bata, diri nagtitake accountability, han ira own actions, yan ang ira parenting style na tuhang bata. So, ang mga key techniques na ginagamit ng mga generational family therapy is the genogram construction, which involves mapping at least 3 generations of family history, including relationships, conflicts, death, medical history, divorces, and significant patterns. Ang mga importante nga event nga nakaka-apekto or nakaka-explain ng certain behavior sa mga tao in the present. Also, the triangulation technique, which teaches family members to recognize when they're being pulled into triangles and how to step out of them, allowing the original two people to resolve their own issues. Di tayo triangulation, bagan dinigin na ini nga technique bagan nabulig hiya para mag-take accountability. Ang duha nga tawo, for example, parents, na diri ra mag-project han ira own faults na tuhan ibang tao, especially their child. Tas may dapat mga ibang mga techniques hini nga family therapy, which is an task questions and coaching, but ang pinakatalagang ginagamit is the genogram construction and re-triangulation. So during ang paghimo ni Moribawi ng iya multi-generational family technique, a family therapy, si Virginia Saterliwat at the same time, may adalat iya own approach, which is an human validation process model. So, the human validation process model, it's all about, or it's more focused on enhancing self-worth and improving communication within families. So, an iya approach views people as inherently capable of growth and positive changes. So, this model emphasizes the family as a system, like an Adlerian family system, where healthy communication and emotional connection are essential. The central belief is that everyone yearns to grow, connect, and feel valued. When these needs are met, families naturally become healthier. So, ang kasalungat na ito niya, kung di rin namin meet, nagiging toxic and dynamic sa family. First, before we proceed, let's dive in the communication stances under stress developed by Virginia Satir. So, ang una is the blaming. Blaming is shifting responsibility to someone to preserve your own self. So, hindi ni bagan you point fingers towards other even though ikaw man talaga ano sila. You also criticize and also bagan mag-i-involve din ito na nag-act superior ka towards others para bagan ma-preserve mo yourself towards the blame. The second one is the place-sitting. Place-sitting is taking the blame to protect someone else from being held responsible. Hindi nga place-sitting na it always agrees, it apologizes, it tries to please everyone. Kumbaga, a modern term pang gagamit niya na is people pleaser. At ayan yung mga body language is, it shows submissiveness, which means leaning in, looking up, perhaps, bagan, involved pa din niya. Kulang na lang, bagan mag-kneel ka to the person. The third one is super reasonable. Ini bagan para sa Freud term, which is ang mga different coping mechanism. Ini nga super reasonable bagan din rational mo an usa nga situation. So, you always stay calm, bagan karag mo mag-appear as logical and reasonable para ma-avoid mo or mapagtakpan mo ang emotions nga imo na-feel inside. Imo yung mga bagan body language, bagan nagsushow ka stiffness or modern philosophy pa, stoicism. Bagan din you respond with facts and sounds like a computer to control the messy or parang painful situations or emotions. The number 4 is irrelevance. Irrelevance means changing the subject, distracting communication to avoid stress or pain. Yun bagan kukon mo tiya as coping mechanism. Ito na gindi-distract mo ang conversation towards ditohan main topic talaga para di rin mo ma-deal ang painful emotions or ang painful experience nga na nakikita mo inside. Kasi bagang mahirap para imo or na-overwhelm ka ba, di ka pa ready i-confront ito ng mga emotions. The last, congruence on the other hand is the antidote ito ng mga communication stances under stress. This meant that emotional honesty and alignment in internal feelings and external expression. Bagan, kung ano talaga mo na-feel, you can express it in a healthier way. Bagan, your feelings internally, parang valid niya. Pero, parang may ka dapat liwatihin healthy way of expressing it. So, ang pinaka-goal ng therapy is to increase self-worth in each family member. So, para naman kami adahin healthier ways in expressing kung anong ira natin feeling kung anong ira emotions towards another member ng pamilya. So, in this therapy, it aims to improve our communication style, communication patterns. It also helps family in having from the indirect blaming communication to clear, honest expression. It also builds congruent communication, meaning ang mga ginayakan kung ano nararamdaman ng isang miyembro ng pamilya, magiging in alignment hag ira external expression diri kay kimkim or baga nagkakamiada hirahin reaction formation. So, may nalagara another goal, which involves helping families become more flexible and open to change. The therapy works to create an environment where feelings can be expressed safely and where members feel validated and understood. It is very important para magkamiada yung healthier dynamics inside the family. So, ang pinaka-role din ng therapist is to be a facilitator of growth, to become a change agent and model of healthy communication. Sa therapy din, the therapist should be warm, genuine, and fully present with the family. Bagan, amo din niya term na congruence. Bagan, kung ano nimo na-present inside, dapat amo to mo ma-express outside. So meaning, dapat bagan din build mo inside and genuineness. Tapos, genuineness na makahelp ka nga doon ng kliyente. This role also involves actively teaching and communication skills and modeling congruent behavior. The therapist shows vulnerability and authenticity, demonstrating that being genuine creates connection rather than weakness. So bagan, ang pinaka-giniaim talaga din ang therapy, na kung ano ang magiging ng therapist, is siya mismo maging genuine. Siya mismo bagan maaram kung ano ang importance and authenticity. Kung ano ang bagan beauty and vulnerability ng isang person na dirito nila masi as a weakness but rather a door towards the depth of the person. It involves din hiliwat ang role of the therapist bagan hiram hiram mismo bagan they validate kung ano ang na-experience na nakikita na usa na kliyente. The therapist constantly affirms each family members their worth and potential. Bagan as the therapy goes, bang gimbi-build din ang worth ang usa na kliyente, not just as a family member but also as a person, as an individual. So rather than remaining distant, the therapist engages emotionally while maintaining appropriate boundaries. So kung hakuan, multi-generational family therapy, bagan dito ang role ng therapist is to be an observant. Dini naman consider na human validation path model, bagan ang therapy mag-engage ka emotionally. Dili lang magiging computerized robot. Bagan magiging active tiya, magpa-participate tiya ha conversation between the therapist and the client. The approach is very experimental, meaning wala rigid na mga procedure or steps na din sa sunod. The therapist uses exercises, sculpting, and drama to help families experience new ways of relating rather than just talking about them. So, ang process of change in the human validation process model is first it begins with creating a safe environment where family members feel accepted and valued. The therapist builds trust through warmth and genuine interest in each person. Intervention focuses on experiential exercises that help family experience new patterns. So the process emphasizes raising awareness of feelings and helping members express them congruently. So ang mga key techniques na ginagamit ng kind of family therapy is the first family sculpting, which involves family members physically positioning themselves to represent relationships and emotions. Also, the family reconstructions are also called role-playing. It provides structure for family meetings, it involves recreating scenes from a person's family of origin to understand how current patterns develop. And the last one is the experiential exercise. Experiential exercise, it involves engaging the whole person, which means emotions, body, and mind, rather than just intellectual understanding. It involves touch, movement, and drama to create powerful learning experiences.
So now let's move on to experiential family therapy. So this is a humanistic and emotion-focused approach that emphasizes genuine emotional expression and authentic interactions within the family. It was primarily developed by Carl Whitaker and Virginia Satir. So an idea din that family problems is nagtitikang mga blocked or unexpressed emotions, rigid family roles, and patterns that prevent people from being their true selves. And in a model, growth happens when family members feel safe enough to express feelings openly and experience each other in real, meaningful ways. So din ang therapist, they're observer. They also participate actively. They bring their own personality into the session, acting authentically, creatively, and sometimes even playfully to encourage emotional openness. Tapos, some common techniques include family sculpting, where members physically position one another to represent relationships. Also, they do role-playing para ma-explore pa ang mga hidden emotions. Symbolic interventions to deepen understanding. And confronting emotional blockages para mabuligan ang family to move toward greater authenticity and connection. So the next one is structural strategic family therapy. So these are both systemic models that focus on how families are organized and how their interaction patterns maintain problems. So structural family therapy, developed by Salvador Menuchin, it looks at the family structure, its boundaries, subsystems, and hierarchy. So dinhe, and problems, it occur when boundaries are either too loose, which leads to enmeshment, meaning family members are too close, overly involved, and there is a very little privacy or independence. Problems also occur when boundaries are too rigid, which leads to disengagement, meaning family members are too distant, emotionally disconnected, and don't support or communicate enough. So dinhe, ang therapist, they work to join the family, observe their patterns, and then create change. Techniques include joining, enactments, where members act out interactions during the session, also boundary making to adjust closeness or distance, and unbalancing, where the therapist briefly supports one member to shift dysfunctional power dynamics. And strategic family therapy naman, associated with Jay Haley and Chloe Mandanes, it focuses on specific interactional sequences that keep a problem alive. So the model sees symptoms as having a purpose or function within the family. So din ang therapist, mga very directive hira, they give tasks or directives using reframing or giving a new or more positive meaning to a behavior so the family sees the problem differently, and even assign paradoxical instructions or symptom prescriptions, or telling the family to continue or exaggerate the problematic behavior on purpose to interrupt unhelpful cycles, because this often makes them resist it, breaking the pattern. So, our goal is very quick, strategic change by altering the sequences that maintain the problem. Recent innovations in family therapy. In more recent years, family therapy has evolved because of influences from feminism, multiculturalism, postmodernism, and new ideas in systemic theory. Feminist contributions emphasized examining power dynamics, gender roles, and issues of inequality within families. Feminist therapists challenge older models that reinforce patriarchal views and encourage more equal and empowering interactions in therapy. Multicultural contributions push that field to consider culture, migration experiences, values, and societal context. This leads to greater cultural humility, meaning therapists strive to understand each family's culture, avoid assumptions, and adopt interventions to be culturally appropriate. Postmodern approaches, such as narrative therapy and solution-focused brief therapy, shifted the new focus from diagnosing problems to co-creating the new meanings. These approaches emphasize collaboration. In narrative therapy, for example, problems are seen as separate from the person, and families are encouraged to rewrite their stories. Finally, the shift to cybernetics changed how therapists understand systems. First order, cybernetics saw the therapist as an outside expert, observing the system. Second order cybernetics recognized that the therapist becomes part of the system simply by interacting with it. This made therapy more relational and reflexive.
So now let's talk about a multi-layered process of a family. Now this entails the fact that family therapy is not a one-line thing, but rather it is composed of multiple levels or layers by which the therapist can handle it one at a time, or they can do it at the same time, everything. Now each layer focuses on a different but related part of the family's experience. Now, just like any other counseling approaches, I feel like the first thing that almost all therapists do is to form a relationship. The therapist works to build trust, safety, and openness amongst the family members. Now, the goal here is to create a non-judgmental environment wherein everyone can feel heard. Now, after which we also conduct an assessment according here, assessment helps the therapist understand the family structure, roles, and interaction patterns. Now, this can include mapping the family systems or genograms, identifying boundaries, or if it's rigid, or if it's diffuse, or it's a healthy boundary. Also, exploring subsystems such as parental systems, sibling, and marital. Also, understanding communication styles. Now, therapist looks at both individual concerns and the whole system, since problems often reflect the family dynamic. So basically, here the therapist is just trying to figure out what the family is, basically how the environment, the ecosystem of the family unit looks like. Now, after gathering information from conducting an assessment, a therapist now moves towards making hypotheses about what maintains the problem. Now, this step is collaborative. The therapist shares insights to help the family understand their relational patterns, how certain behaviors influence their system, and how roles, rules, or alliances contribute to conflicts. Now, the goal here is to create shared meaning so the family can see the goal as ours, fixed, not as one person's fault. Now, basically here, the therapist encourages that the family as a unit come up and share what they have, so that one member of the family does not feel that they are being singled out or being blindsided. Now, at last stage, this is where we facilitate change. The action stage where the therapist guides the family towards healthier patterns. Now, techniques may vary depending on the model. It may be structural, strategic, experimental, or whatnot. But common methods include reframing negative interactions or enactments, practicing new behaviors during the session. We also have restructuring boundaries from less healthier towards more healthier boundaries and sustainable boundaries, problem-solving tasks, or homework. The therapist encourages new communication patterns, more flexible roles, and supportive interactions. Now, change happens as the family experiments with new ways of relating to each other.
Strengths from a diversity perspective. The primary strength of the systemic perspective in a multicultural setting is its inherent focus on the collective and relational context, which naturally aligns with the values of many global cultures. Many ethnic and cultural groups place a high value on the extended family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, which the systemic therapies can readily incorporate into the therapeutic network. By focusing on the family as a unit, the approach honors essential celebrations and rituals that mark transitions and define identity, utilizing them as resources for strength and protection. Furthermore, the model allows for a sophisticated approach to gender issues by seeking out and amplifying feminist voices within every culture, ensuring that the fight against marginalization or oppression of women is done through a culturally congruent rather than externally imposed framework. Shortcoming from a diversity perspective. The major shortcoming stems from the potential for the model's key concepts to clash with collectivist cultural values. Family systems therapy, having developed largely in the West, often advocates for a balance that prioritizes individual autonomy and differentiation, the process of becoming a separate self. For many non-Western families, this emphasis on separation can be viewed as disrespectful to the collective and a betrayal of family loyalty. While differentiation occurs in all cultures, its shape varies significantly. A child in collectivist culture may be differentiated while still living at home, whereas a Western model might equate differentiation with physical separation. The most critical risk is the failure of practitioners to avoid assuming Western models of family are universal, leading them to misinterpret healthy, culturally mandated dependence or difference as pathology, especially in the context of immigrant families where children often rapidly assimilate the Western concept of individualism. Family systems therapy applied to the case of Stan. Applying the family systems perspective to Stan's case means viewing his issues not as personal flaws but as symptoms embedded within and reflective of the entire family structure. This view holds that individuals like Stan are best understood through their relationships and ongoing interactions, recognizing that the family environment shapes identity, behavior, and development. Stan's symptoms or problematic behaviors are reframed as potentially serving a function or purpose to the family, distracting parents from marital conflict. They may also be unintentionally maintained by predictable family routines and interaction patterns or simply reflect the family's difficulty adjusting to a developmental milestone. Ultimately, the systemic view seeks to understand how Stan's current issues might result from dysfunctional patterns passed down across generations, making the entire family system the focus of assessment and intervention rather than just Stan himself.
So now let's proceed to summary and evaluation. Basic assumption, which individual problems stem from family and broader social system. Focus of family therapy is brief, solution focused, present oriented, emphasizing current family interaction that sustains symptoms. Role of goals and values, which is goals are set collaboratively, guided by therapist's value with all intervention reflecting value judgment. So how family change? So, change must occur in relationship, whether through shift in thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. So lastly is techniques of family therapy, which is techniques are tools, but therapy's qualities like an empathy, respect, and flexibility, and multi-layered collaborative approach guided effective change. So now let's proceed the contributions of family system approaches. So one of the key contribution of most systemic approaches is that neither the individual nor the family is blamed for a particular dysfunction. So meaning, systematic therapy avoids pointing fingers at one person or the whole family. Like for example, nila is instead of saying the child is your problem, ang ginagawa therapy is like let's look at how the family interaction contribute to this issue. So next is the family is empowered through the process of identifying and exploring internal, developmental, and interactional pattern. So meaning, ang family nagiging restrained by recognizing their own interaction style and developmental changes. Like for example, nala is a family noticed that argument always start when the father feels stressed from work. So di dagin identify na ang pattern which is nakakabuligya para ma-manage and conflict better. So next is a system perspective recognizes that individuals and families are affected by external forces and system, among them illness, shifting gender pattern, culture, and socioeconomic consideration. So meaning, ang families those don't exist in isolation outside the factors like ang gibanggit kanina, illness, culture, or even the finances shape them. Like for example, a mother's chronic illness changes family roles. So with children taking on more responsibilities on therapy, acknowledge this external influence. So next is family therapy redefines the individual as system embedded with many other system which bring an entirely different perspective to assessment and treatment. So each person is seen as part of overlapping system like family, school, community, and culture also. Like for example, the teenagers' anxiety is understood not only in the family context but also in the relation to the school pressure or peer expectation. So last is prevent is by goating. So the entire family has the opportunity. So first is to examine the multiple perspective and interactional pattern that characterize the unit and to participate in finding solution. So meaning no single person is blamed. So the whole family examine issues together and works on solution. So next is the limitation and criticism of family system approaches. So early therapies often focus too much on the system and the low side of individual. So meaning they look at family structures and pattern but ignores individual feelings. Like for example, ang therapist is na this family operates as the rigid system but doesn't ask how the child personally feels about being ignored. So in adapting the language of system, therapists begin to describe and think of families as being made up like a triad, functional, dysfunctional, feedback loop. So meaning ang families were described in technical terms instead of human experiences. Like for example, instead of saying the mother feels lonely when her husband works late. So, ang therapy, sinabi niya kan is, this diet is dysfunctional due to poor feedback loops. So, next is the feminists were perhaps at first, but not the only group to lament the loss of personal perspective within the systemic framework. So, meaning, ang feminists argued that focusing only on system erase personal perspective, especially on women's voices and emotion. Like for example, is like, and feminist therapists might say na we must hear the mother's sadness, not just label her role in a triad. Something like that. So lastly is, as the field moves now toward an integration of individuals and systemic frameworks, it's important to reinvest the language of therapy with human emotional terminology that honors the place real people have always held in families. Like meaning, modern therapy and combination and combined system analysis with individual emotion experiences. Like for example, ang therapist nagyaka nila na this child, I think the child anxiety affect the family system, and the family's argument increase the child anxiety. Like both system and individual are honored. So,
That's all. Thank you.